I wanted to come out because command isolates you so much. It makes you feel that hopelessness.
Senior Airman Elizabeth Smith says her isolation and hopelessness faded after hearing about Sergeant First Class Allison Bailey.
So listening to Allison Bailey's story, I felt like I was just reading my story all over again.
Both women reported sexual assault. In both cases, law enforcement investigated and did not file charges, citing insufficient evidence, and both say they were retaliated against by the Nevada National Guard.
So it's important that we come out and show our faces and support each other, because the Guard doesn't want us to find each other.
The Guard tells 13 Investigates it does want service members to come forward and encourages reporting in many ways.
Over the course of the last 3 years, the Nevada National Guard has taken proactive steps over the course of that time to combat sexual assault in the force and hold accountable people for their actions.
Nevada Guard spokesperson Captain Emerson Marcus says that includes this memo of understanding, effective January 2021, that requires all sexual assault allegations to be referred to the Nevada Department of Public Safety. He also says the Guard supported a revision in state law with a stronger definition of sexual assault.
We've also launched many awareness campaigns. This has been something the Department of Defense has taken very seriously, and we have in our awareness campaign, I will say that we have seen an uptick in reports.
Other insiders we spoke to say that's a double-edged sword.
I left the military as a major.
Marilyn Burden worked in the Wyoming National Guard's Equal Opportunity Office for half her career, with posters and flyers in every building, on military websites, social media, and through email blasts. Marilyn says service members are encouraged to speak up, but in her experience, the rhetoric does not match the reality.
Some of the people in senior leader positions were a little bit toxic. People coming forward or taking things outside their unit was then a threat to their authority or a threat to their ego, and then they would retaliate against the member.
Over time, she saw a pattern.
The series is deny, delay, deflect, confuse, or cover up.
Frustrated with the culture, she eventually left the Wyoming Guard. Leaders there have not responded to our request for comment. Marilyn initially reached out to 13 Investigates after our reporting on Allison's case. Allison died from organ failure due to multiple health issues 6 weeks after she was discharged from the Nevada Guard.
The portion of the story of Sergeant First Class Bailey's story that just really ripped my heart apart was that her sons found her, and her death, she left behind 2 boys. I was appointed as a victim advocate for a soldier, a female officer who had been raped while she was deployed to Iraq. She ultimately ended up committing suicide,
leaving 3 teenage boys behind. Elizabeth understands the depth of that despair.
They made me feel so hopeless that I wanted to kill myself.
But she was able to fight through that to continue her career, despite what her attorney, Lindsay Knapp, calls ongoing retaliation. Knapp cites this email from the Nevada Guard as an example. Elizabeth was told she would be granted an expedited transfer to another state's guard.
And it took more than 2 years for us to get her out of that unit safely.
But after our story aired in 2021, the email to Knapp states the transfer will now be processed as an interstate transfer and is unrelated to the unsubstantiated sexual assault. This change is due to your comments mischaracterizing the expedited transfer during the news story.
They withdrew it. And then after that story aired, in addition to retaliating against Liz, they're like, well, let's just go after the attorney as well. Let's see how hard we can hit. And then they threatened to file a bar complaint against me. 2 years later, no bar complaint has been made.
Knapp encourages victims to make their voices heard and hopes Nevada cases like Elizabeth's and Allison's encourage a critical, nationwide look at the issue of sexual assault and retaliation in the National Guard.
So if we're looking at the Nevada National Guard very narrowly and not taking into account their brothers and sisters to the left, then we're not actually addressing the entire problem. We're looking at, a broken arm without understanding that there's a gunshot wound to the chest.
As for Elizabeth, she wants her courage in coming forward to motivate others.
And that's what needs to happen, is that we need to stop being afraid of our truths and come out and share that this is what's happening with the Guard.
As we have for each of our reports, we again asked the Nevada Guard for an on-camera interview with its top general, Andra Berry, but that was denied. They instead provided a statement addressing several of our questions. You can read that along with this story on our website at ktnv.com/guardingtheguardsmen. Darcy Spears, 13 Investigates.